Hey, what's up team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology. Today's video is about introverted sensing. So before we get into the nitty gritty of it, let's look at what sensing is and introversion and then put them together. So sensing is basically a function that tells us what something is. It's based on your experiences and it's just tangibly what something is based on your senses. So detail, line, color, texture, heat, tone, all that stuff to get a real understanding of what it is. And then introversion is a focus of your mental energy inward towards your subjective or personal understanding and experiences of a thing. Not the objective, like what everybody can actually understand, but it's more like what you know based on your own experiences. Or your own kind of just understanding of the whole thing. I just said that. But so put them together and you have introverted sensing, which is a focus on tangible, sensory-based details through a lens of the past, basically. So it's through your own personal experiences and what you have kind of learned about a thing. And you use that to compare to the current world. It's like you take a memory snapshot or a video of something, and then when you encounter something similar to that, you go back and you recall all those details and kind of overlap them and try to understand, like, is this the actual thing? Is this the highest version of it? Is this the best instance or archetype of what a thing is? So for example, like an apple. Okay, so you've seen many apples. They're all a little bit different, but through encountering all those different apples, you have like this real golden standard of what the best apple is based on the texture and the shine and the ripeness of the whole thing and the weight and the size and all that stuff. That's all sensory based information that you can gather, empirical data, and then it's related and compared from the past. And because of this, introverted sensing is very friendly with familiar information. It really trusts things that it knows. Because you're always looking for it. You're always looking for the golden standard, like I said, of whatever it is. So when you encounter something that you already know that's familiar, you don't need to like go into that whole database of memories and experiences and facts and recall all that stuff and try to see if it fits with it. You don't have to do that if it's something you already know. You're relieved. You don't need to stress out. You don't need to take that extra processing time and power to deal with it. And actually, introverted sensors go into a flow state based on kind of reliving their past experiences and kind of going over and repeating what happened in the past. So a lot of introverted sensors are like very good at reviewing what happened in that day, what was good, what was bad, and then kind of using that to push forward into the future. And because of that as well, there's this kind of pull towards tradition and customs, doing what has always been done again and again and again because it works. There's no need to like reinvent the wheel. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So just there's this pull to like just maintain and continue on with the way that things have always been if they're working. And this doesn't have to be like traditions like Christmas should always be this way because that's what I've learned, which it could be though. But it could also be something like normally eating the same foods, waking up at the same time, having the same routine in the morning, and like drinking the same blend of coffee, going the same way to work or whatever. It's just, it works. There's no need to like waste your mental energy going over that again if you already know that it works. And this kind of leads to the idea of introverted sensors or SJ types looking up to authority and listening more towards what authority is saying and doing, because they're supposed to be the ones that are upholding a higher standard that everybody else should be kind of living by, which I'm not going to say that's not always true. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's enough about that. And step-by-step kind of processes is another thing that introverted sensing likes, because when you recall information, a lot of times for introverted sensors, from my understanding anyway, I have it in my tertiary spot, so it's a little different than like somebody in their dominant spot. But there's this, it's like a flow of time being relived. It's not like sporadic and bouncing all over in different places. It's just, this is what happened and this is what will continue happening based on my previous experiences. So by kind of going over that in a step-by-step fashion, it feels more comfortable to introverted sensors, and they tend to prefer that. Just step by step by step by step. This is how you do this thing, and it will work. There's no need to worry about it being finished incorrectly, because you follow the steps that need to be taken. And you go through, it's perfect. That's about it. Like, you don't need to deal with it anymore. You don't need to worry about the chaos that could ensue by forgetting to do something because you've done it through the steps. And this helps introverted sensors kind of stabilize the whole situation. Whatever that situation is because they are able to just follow the order, the routine, the customs, based on the golden standard of how to do whatever that thing is, and you don't need to fuff about it. Is that even a word? Fuff? Yeah, so that's about that. Introverted sensing is pretty interesting. I don't know. I really like it. It could just be because it's in my tertiary function, but related to video games, sensing I consider to be a warrior, and introverted to be a defensive style of that. So it's kind of like a guardian, like a tank. Very focused on like training and being meticulous and methodical. They're not like extroverted sensors or the berserkers that are just going to run and jump into this big battle and just see what happens. They're more likely to just take their sword and shield and not be slow, but be meticulous and be correct with the approach. They've practiced this technique over and over and over and over again. So they know that they can do it. They're very confident with it, and there's no need to worry. Because also they're so focused on procedure and things like that, I think that kind of relates to their idea of the Guardian's idea of being duty focused, focusing on loyalty and rules, because they are the ones that see that this is the structure that should be maintained. So they're likely to be the ones that are like, if it's going to get done, I got to do it because I got to do it right. Can't really trust anybody else to do it in the precise way that it has to be done. And this is how they kind of like plan and prepare before engaging a situation. So with the Guardian, they're watching, they're figuring out what to do. How does this boss fight work? You know, how do these, you know, the minions attack or whatever, and like, what do I need to watch out for? You get all that information, either through an authority, through studying about it, through personal experiences, and then going forward, proceeding flawlessly. I also like to think of introverted sensors and guardians of having this kind of like quest log that's just, it has their experiences all listed out, and they can flip back through that quest log and see exactly what happened, how it was completed, and, you know, all the problems that maybe they ran into or didn't run into, and what went well, and all that other stuff. All of this helps them specialize in one thing or in several different things. My friend and I moved to Japan together, and we were studying kanji, like the Chinese writing system. It's really complicated and whatnot. And I'm awful at it. Like, I can read it based on context, but when we had to study for the test for it, and you had to memorize like 15 kanji and whatever and write them down on the test, he would look at it just before class, just be like, boo, 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 boo. Okay, I got it. And then he would just ace the test. Because he was like repeating the different stroke orders and the line counts and the radicals, the different like pieces that form together. He's had a lot of repetition of those. And so when it was time to study, he would just go over it many times in his head, say it out loud a few times, or like figure out how to do it, like write it through like rote memorization or whatever. And then boom, he's got it. It's just burned in there. Whereas me, I was just like, it doesn't work like that for me. I can't do it. I was trying to make different stories with it, but I wasn't actually doing it in the way that I should have, and connecting it to like the human experience, like an introverted feeler would want to do, and using like broad, crazy stories and stuff like that. I tried to do it his way. It didn't really work out. There's a little rant about that. Another thing, let's see, for me, in my tertiary position, like I said, introverted sensing gets me to just stick with what's comfortable and not explore the extroverted intuition side of things, which is my auxiliary function, which is kind of more where I should lean. So I do a lot of the same things, or I like take one of my experiences and I like frame that as, this is how it will always happen. I don't need to explore other options. In a dominant position, in like the hero function style, a guardian is not going to be that stubborn with that. They're going to realize there are other options, and it's not going to be in an unhealthy way like mine, but it's going to be like a refined, very like properly understood way of dealing with current situations and all the problems or whatever it is. And it's just through comparing the past to the present, what was and what a thing is now, and seeing how they relate, and how you can use that to invest and stabilize the future for everybody. That's one thing I really like about you guardians and you SJ types out there too, is just you have such a focus on group like ownership, and like the kinship data and stuff, like birthdays and, you know, likes and dislikes of other people and stuff like that. It's just incredible, like how much you focus on maintaining humanity and helping everybody kind of move forward together with that golden standard of, this is how everyone can be happy, not in a feeling sense, but in a physical sense of like, this is going to keep everybody healthy and happy and able to move on, because this is how it has worked for millions, for thousands, millions of years, whatever. And you're able to uphold that and just carry like all that weight on your shoulders as you move forward, and work your ass off. So that was a very ranty video, but I hope it made sense. I hope everything is clear with that. If you have any questions, comments, whatever it is, let me know, as always. And love your SJ friends or family or whoever it is, because now you know why they are the way they are, right? You know why they're kind of stuck in their ways, but it's because that stuff works. And it's for everybody's good that they're doing it like that. And they're very meticulous and thorough about it. I think that's about it. So, I don't know. Right below, comments, all that good stuff, share. And I will see you in the next video, which will be about extroverted intuition. So good luck and have fun. Peace.